October, it is ADHD Awareness Month. The CDC says about 7 million children in the U.S. from the age of 3 to 17 have been diagnosed with that disorder in the last 2 years or so. Now, experts say understanding it at a very young age can help children grow. Now, joining us is Kim Minch of the Real Life Parent Guide. Good morning to you, Kim.
Good morning, Cleo. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Let's get into this. What are some common signs of ADHD that parents should really look out for in their school-age kids?
Right. So frequently distracted, having a difficult time sitting for any length or period of time, homework struggles, impulsivity. They may interrupt conversations. Now, the first person who might identify this, and it's hard to know, is this just my kid being a kid or, is there something going on? A teacher may be the first one to kind of point it out, but definitely want to have a conversation if you're seeing these things with your child's pediatrician about it.
Right. Kim, before we get further into this, we were talking about, learning the signs, especially in young kiddos. When do we really start to look for that? I'm assuming not in like a 1 or 2 year old, right?
No, I would say more again when they get into their elementary school ages, and you may not see it right away, again, because kids also are kids and they can be active and sometimes they're impulsive. So it's very hard to know. And I think that parents should be careful not to label or quickly jump to that conclusion.
Kim, how can ADHD maybe impact a child's emotional well-being and relationships at school and at home?
Yeah, that's a great question. Sometimes kids can, when they're frustrated or they're not able to stay on task, they can become emotionally dysregulated, right? Outbursts and things like that. And that can affect their ability to feel good about themselves. It also can affect their relationships with family, with their teachers, with their friends at times as well. So really identifying and then, helping them cope and giving them skills are important.
What are some ways, I guess, that parents can really support their child at home and school? You kind of mentioned that.
Yeah, a couple things. One, really important to have structured routines. Predictability is really important. But if it's a younger child, well, it doesn't really matter the age, but if you're noticing this, the use of timers, checklists, moms and dads might need to get creative with some visual charts that keep their son or daughter on track.
Yeah.
Really important for parents to praise their kids' efforts on things and sometimes break big tasks down to smaller pieces.
Yeah, Kim, what are you, I guess, before we go here, any advice that you may have for parents who feel a little overwhelmed when it comes to ADHD or maybe some other attention disorders in their child's life?
Yeah, knowledge is power. So mom and dad, if this is a diagnosis that's coming to you, try not to feel overwhelmed, but get to know more about ADHD and how you can support your son or daughter who is in this position, and really take good care of yourself because it's going to require some additional patience. So take good care of you, mom and dad.
Yeah. Kim, thank you so much for joining us here on Daybreak. As always, great insight. Kim Minch from the Real Life Parent Guide. Thanks again, Kim.
Thanks, Cleo.
All right.